Ben Walker.
Thank you, Paul. Cheers, mate. Thank you so much. Thank you, Paul. Thanks for those kind words. And yeah, I also want to thank the audience for the next 18 minutes of your attention. To give you some context into what I'd love to share, Paul asked my business partner Harvee and I to share a little bit about a campaign or two that we've run over the last 12 months. And as we go through this, I'm going to sort of set the context to how we came about with the idea. And then I'm going to sort of unpack 8 things that we did to make the campaign as crazily, weirdly successful as they were. So yeah, to all of our surprisement, if that's even a word. So I'm going to share a bit about the business. So my name's Ben Walker. I run an accounting firm called Inspire. And we help young families use their small business to achieve big goals. We're numbers people, but we believe that family is number one. Our why, Paul will love this. We wake up every morning to help business owners get cashed up so that they can pull more time, money and happiness out of their business.
You're right, Paul does that.
We're most famous for our It's All Sorted tax and accounting subscription, which aims to pay for itself with the tax savings. And we also help, as I said, the cashed up and help business owners build and protect their family wealth. A bit about me. The most important thing I'd like to share is I'm a husband to Stevie. And some of you... some of you might meet her tonight at the gala dinner. She's coming down after work today. We've got 2 rescue greyhounds, and I think I was talking to Kerry over there from Dubbo. Kerry asked me, did I go straight from school into starting Inspire in one of the breaks before? No, I didn't. I started Inspire when I was 23. We've won a couple of awards in doing that, saved clients a fair bit in tax. In 2016 that was $27,500 in tax per client on average. Yeah, Harvey and I are co-authoring a book to be released in September called Cashed Up. This is our sensational team who I'm so proud of. Harvey's in the middle there, the brown guy. Unfortunately, sometimes I can get away with it. But yeah, unfortunately he can't be here, but he's on a plane probably at 4 o'clock this afternoon on his way to Rarotonga for a family wedding. So it's, yeah, cool to see. Now, as an accounting firm, we've won a couple of awards. What got the attention of the Cool Company Awards was a campaign that we ran about 12 months ago. But what's the first word that comes to mind when you hear the word accountant? That's it. Wow, numbers cruncher, boring. I think boring is like this, yeah, just a connotation of the word accountant. So we were surprised to actually get an email from Cool Company Awards that we were the finalist in the, I think it was the numbers category, and also becoming one of the top 100 cool companies in Australia for 2016.
Hey, that's awesome.
Wow. And what got the attention of James Tuckerman, the guy who runs the Cool Company Awards, was our Save $500,000 tax campaign. And that's what I'd love to break down for you today. And it all started when a man who has spoken earlier by video today, we saw Daniel Flynn and Thank You put together this campaign to release their book called Chapter 1. I think most of us already know about that. During that campaign, we actually, as a team, I think there was about 4 or 5 of us who jumped on a plane and went down to actually pack books. So those photos are from the warehouse that they hired just to put these books together. We got to meet Daniel Flynn, Justine, Jared, and the co-founders there, and also the team. It was a really, really cool experience. and we've kind of studied what they did and implemented it in our own boring accounting business. So, next one here. We knew it would be hard work. And we never expected the outcome that we got. So I've got a bit of a video to show you the results of our Save $500,000 tax campaign. The reason why we chose tax as well is we all pay tax, right? Who here pays tax? And who, keep your hand up, and who here likes paying tax? You. There you go. But 1% of the room maybe likes paying tax. That's it. So, so the reason why we chose tax is we all pay tax, but hidden in the tax we pay is tax that we don't have to pay. And the only way you know that is by going to an accountant who does proactive tax planning with you each financial year, and we do that for our clients. And what we did for this campaign was actually make it a thing, a campaign to save our client base $500,000 in tax. So I'm going to stop talking for about 4 minutes and show you the results. Some of you are in this video, by the way.
They're putting the cash towards the profit war chest and towards superannuation.
$40,758. Now I can put your as well. A few times.
Oh,
Few times.
wait, so we didn't say we got that money.
You bring that much money back.
Oh, when we get it.
Right here, they saved $18,976, and they're going to reinvest a lot in Australia.
Well done, you go.
Hey guys, I'm Jen. Look at this. We have just saved $7,251. And you know what we're going to do with it? What are you going to do with it?
We got a holiday for 2 weeks, and in 1 week just on trail starting writing my first book.
Inspire CA saved us $38,000.
$38,000. What we saved? 38,000.
38,000! We don't have to give the government who doesn't know what they're doing anyway. $38,000! Woo! That is sensational. Now we can spend it on our family. We can do things that we didn't think we could do. And that's what we're all here for. This is why I'm doing what I'm doing. And now we can do it. So thank you, Ben. Thanks, team. Thanks everyone there at Inspire CA. And let's make 2016 the year that changes everything.
Just over $981,000 in tax saves this financial year. Oh my gosh! Huge. Well done, Daddy.
Do you reckon we'll do the bills or what's in the pipeline?
There's not too much left in the tank. So unless it's magic for the next 3 days, we'll might not see how 3 months so much good help.
1.261. That was the number by 30 June. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is share exactly what made up those elements of the campaign. From that, we've actually run 2 more campaigns. We've ran the Save $1 million tax campaign that just finished, 30 June just gone. We hit $1.097 million in tax. And we've also run a giving campaign. Our aim this calendar year is to give 1 million days of access to clean water to the project in Malawi. And so that's the frame I'd love to share from. So I've got 8 points. The first one here, and what I'd love you to do is actually take a pen and paper and have a think about your business. Now, we're an accounting firm, so I don't think anyone in this room has an excuse why this won't apply to you. The first one is it needs a clear start date and an end date. For an accounting firm, ours was logical. The end of financial year was the end date, and we ran that tax campaign for the 12 weeks of tax planning. And if your name's Pete Evans, you might want to do a campaign around National Gut Health Week. You might be something to do with mothers or fathers or Valentine's Day. But basically, just have a think about what your business does and what date or part of the year you can link that to. It might even be an upcoming book launch, like the founders of Thank You did. Now the second one here is choose a values aligned project, and that means values aligned with you. We chose access to clean water in Malawi. My business partner Harvee, he's actually blind in one eye, and the sight is actually quite important to him. He almost lost an eye in that party popper bit of the video, his only remaining eye. But so for him, sight and cataract surgery is really important to him. You may want to do shelter for people in India, access to a clean toilet in Africa. And actually, one that's close to my heart is hunger and feeding people. I grew up, my dad was a chef, and there was no shortage of food. I don't know whether you can tell, but that was, I kind of woke up to myself one day when I thought, hang on, there's people going hungry, and they're not eating for a day or two or ever. Like it's just something I could not grasp, and really sunk into me. Yeah, and it's even as close as New Zealand. Like this stuff, even in Australia, we've got Oz Harvest doing some great things. So pick something that's really close to your heart. The question. You need to pick a number that makes you poo your pants. Harvey turned to me before the tax planning campaign and he said, what's a number of tax savings that you can't even imagine that you would crap your pants if we actually hit it? And I thought for 10, 20 seconds, I thought, 100 grand, 200 grand? $500,000 was my answer. And I thought, no way we could save that much tax over our client base. Turns out I was wrong in a very good way, and we hit 1.26, but you need to stretch your thinking and even past what you think is possible, almost to the extent that you have a fairly high risk that you might not get the goal. It's got to be that high. It could be 1 million days of giving. It could be 365, 100,000 days. It's totally up to you. The next one here is to map out your giving impacts. And with Paul's fancy pointer, I'm going to take you to our website and just show you how we've linked the actions in our business with the million days. Yeah. This is very... Actually, Paul, if we could just scroll down to that bit where you've got there's that giant counter.
If you stop pressing the pointer, I'll be able to do that.
There we go. That's it, a little bit further down. And that's where we are. Yep, cool. Now, Paul, just where it says that big number 1, and a little bit higher.
Higher?
Yep, that's it. So we've tied things in our business. This one is a test drive. It's a 15-minute rapid-fire Q&A session with an accountant. That we give a week's access. Paul, if you could just click on support option 3 or 5 or pick one. Yeah, so this one is a look under the hood, a second opinion on if you're paying too much tax or not. And then we actually give a month's access to life-changing water. When 5 is, so that is becoming a client of Inspire. We give 1 year, and where the rubber hits the road is in 6 and 7, Paul, with our book launch coming up. So that's where we're actually giving. If you come to and buy Ticket for Good, come to our book launch, we give 5 times Water for Life to that project in Malawi.
You are flipping awesome.
Thank you, Paul. So pick stuff in your business that you can add to that tally. And being accountants, have a way of tracking that very easily. I've got we use Google Sheets to do that, but no, let's not go there, Paul. The first time I showed Paul a spreadsheet, it was like holding garlic to a vampire. Seriously, he convulsed. It was funny.
Where do you want me to go? Back to
yeah, thank you. Okay, cool. You also need a great campaign hashtag. We're in the world of social media. Today's, Paul, if I'm not wrong, is Decade of Giving. Paul? Yes, there we go. We used Give 1 Million Days for our giving campaign, Save $1 million Save 1 million tax was that one, and also using Thank You as an example, they used Chapter 1 as their hashtag. The other thing you need, or what we found really powerful, was having a great launch video. And I'd really encourage you to Google these examples that Thank You put together. Now, they did 3 really, really impressive ones for the 7-Eleven campaign, the Coles and Woolies campaign. Did anyone hear about the helicopters that someone flew above Coles and Woolies? It was incredible. And also the Chapter 1 campaign, really compelling video that was done in one take by Daniel Flynn. He's just crazy. So make sure you have a great launch video, and I'm actually going to show you ours. There we go.
Last year we won.
Cool. Alrighty. You also need to communicate your why and your so that. Has anyone heard Paul ask your why and then ask you to explain the so that? Well, ours, for example, with the Save $1 Million tax campaign, we're helping young families keep more of their hard-earned cash through cutting-edge tax saving strategies so that they can go on the family holiday, pay off the credit card, or invest in their dream family home. So please think about how you can connect your campaign to a really strong why and a so that. The final one is to also be clear on the prize. Now, Harvey mentioned in that video that if we hit that 1 million days for access to clean water, we're actually going to jump on a plane to Malawi and go and check out the project and see firsthand what impact that we had on that town. For the Save $1 Million tax campaign, we actually got all of our clients to fill out an impact statement and took a photo, some with them, some were preferring to stay anonymous with the amount of tax savings that they actually received, but I didn't want to be on a hit list of phone calls. But anyway, so an example of that, I've got photos here. Now we've got Riz, our accountant, who's the only face you can see in there, and he's got Nathan, and Nathan saved $22,320. And what he's going to do with that is in that little box below it. It says school fees and family holiday paid for. You've got Jake there, whose beard you could see in the bottom left-hand corner. I think that's 33,000. I think he's covering a number there, and that person is going to put it back into their business for growth. So think of ways that you can track your impact in a similar way. What's the prize for your clients, prize for yourself, like the flights to Malawi and going and seeing that and experiencing that giving.
You all right there?
I might be stuck a little bit.
Okay. By the way, is there anybody who thinks Ben's stuck? I don't think he's stuck.
There we go.
Masami, unstuck you. Look at that.
Thank you, Masami. I'll just jump back actually. Now, I've got a challenge. Earlier in this conference, the day one, we heard from Paul that
You want to be there, right?
yes, just for the moment, that we had 108 million giving impacts so far. Now that took B1G1 as a community 10 years to achieve, a decade of giving. What if we could do that in 1 year? What would that take? Using the maths, there's got to be 91 business owners in this room, for sure. Is that right, Paul?
Yes.
Awesome. So if 91 businesses each had a give 1 million something campaign, then we'd achieve the goal of 200 million giving impacts in total in an extra year's time.
Yeah. Yep, nice work, Benny.
So, our challenge to you, and this is not a rhetorical question, I want an answer by show of hands, is who's in? Awesome. Wow. Sorry? Yeah. We can do that, Paul.
What's that?
Create a register of people who... Awesome.
As long as you can measure everything.
Exactly. I'll create a big spreadsheet. So yeah, that's my challenge, and thank you.
Hey.